Welcome to the Horse Speak Book Club. I'm Laura Wilsey, the co-founder of Horse Speak, and we are embarking on a journey through the Horse Speak Trilogy. The Horse Speak team is dedicated to giving horses a voice and being their well-deserved advocates. We provide evidence-based knowledge of equine body language skills that is intrinsic, observable, and repeatable. We offer online courses, a weekly club where we analyze our members' videos from the herd dynamics all the way up to riding. We have in-person clinics, and if you're interested in learning more, please check out our website at horsespeakacademy.com. This is a judgment-free zone. Everyone here has a varied horsemanship background, and we ask for you to help us keep the environment safe so no one feels shamed in any way. Okay, let's begin step 2 of Horse Speak, the Equine Human Translation Guide, written by Sharon Wilsey. All right. Observable facial expressions. Let's now take some time to use our powers of observation to gain understanding of specific expressions, the beginning of learning to use horse speak in your daily interactions at the barn or in the arena. Sharon watches a horse's expressions carefully because every horse communicates volumes with his face. Humans tend to watch each other's faces. So do horses. We may not even realize our horses say a lot with their faces. The expressions we see depict their internal landscapes, thoughts, feelings, and opinions. As you explore aspects of one horse's face, you will begin to unfold a map to his inner world. The height of the horse's head, the mouth, nostrils, chin, jaw, eyes, and ears all have stories to tell. The stories get more complex and fascinating when you understand how a horse combines all the facets of his face in order to communicate with other horses and with you. On the pages that follow, Sharon will deconstruct gesture and nuance of the individual parts of the horse's face and note what each means separately. There may be circumstances when a whole message is a combination of expressions and gestures. Over time, you will begin to see how they come together to allow a horse to be more descriptive. Regardless what a horse is feeling, thinking, or communicating, it may not only show in its face for a brief moment, because a horse returns to a neutral or peaceful expressions as soon as he can. Some facial gestures are so fleeting that it took Sharon years to document their meaning. Head height. As Sharon approaches a horse, the first thing she notices is the height of the head. When a horse has a high head, it means he is on alert. This can be due to tension or even just curiosity. Either way, his adrenaline is up. A low head means all is well, and the adrenaline is low. The ultimate goal is for the horse to feel so comfortable that he keeps his head low. Muzzle. The muzzle can express great intimacy. Horses groom their friends, horse or human, with lips and a relaxed muzzle. They use their lips to ask other horses if grooming can continue before they engage their teeth in a harder scratching motion. Sharon once met a horse that was sweet and massaged every person who stood outside his stall with his or her back to him. The gist of it is, if your horse has loose lips and a relaxed muscle around you, he considers you his friend. Lick and chew. Some communications are easier to notice because the horse holds an expression longer. One such gesture is the lick and chew. That is when a horse is not eating. Sharon does not believe this motion only means the horse is agreeing with you. In her experience, it really means he is thinking things over. He is digesting what you are trying to say. You can mirror the lick and chew by pretending to chew gum. It becomes a conversation. You got that? And yes, that is my understanding as well. And so we're going to read 2 pages each. So Danuta, you're up next, please.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Biting. A horse can defend or protect his personal space with a bite that clearly says, go away. A full bite, however, is the last resort. As we touched on already, horses communicate go away in many less harmful ways. Ears may go back, the tail may swish, the body may angle a certain way. As the bite gets closer to reality, lips are tight or teeth are bared, the eyes get narrow, nostrils pinch, ears flatten back, and a squeal may be heard before the teeth sink in. When a horse bites a person, it carries the same message as when a horse bites a horse. The horse wants the person to simply get out of his space, go away, and leave him alone. It may be the horse believes the person is not listening to his more subtle requests. Bites from a horse can be painful and dangerous. When people watch and understand a horse's body language more fully, the chance of receiving a full-on bite is greatly lessened. Tight lips. Tight lips say, I don't like this. If you take a little time to be curious and observe what is happening in that moment, you can create a better conversation with the horse. Simply noting when lips are tight or not is important. A tight mouth is holding back and holding on to tension. This can also be evident when a horse is concentrating really hard. He may have a tense mouth, similar to a human who is concentrating while taking a test. Curling the lip. Curling of the upper lip is another gesture easily recognized. We know it as the Flamen response. Horses may do this in the presence of strong odors, like coffee or cigarettes. Stallions do it before they breed a mare in order to carry her scent deeply into their nostrils. This same curling of the upper lip can also indicate pain. There is a point between the center of the nostrils that is the pressure point for the limbic system. It extends from the center point between the nostril all the way through to a corresponding point at the upper lip of the gum line. To a corresponding point under the lip at the gum line. Massaging either location stimulates the release of endorphins. So by curling his own lip when he is in pain, the horse is self-medicating. Chin. A horse that is very tense or fearful will often go beyond tight lips and pucker up his chin as well. A relaxed chin, on the other hand, is a sure sign of confidence. Nostrils. The nostrils change shape and size as the horse uses different breath messages. Generally, relaxed nostrils mean a calm horse, and hard, small, tense, or puckered nostrils that look as if the horse has smelled something bad show he is having negative feelings. Sometimes you can change the proximity of items in the horse's environment and notice if your efforts cause him to relax his nostrils. You can also gently stroke the nostrils, pulling gently at the edges to soften them.
Thank you. Ms. Heidi?
I have a quick question before I start.
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
the Kindle version, so I'm not sure the pages are the same.
Well, we're starting with the jaw.
I'm where
and
we
then
are, but
going
how far do you need to read?
then you'll end if you read it. Does you have a laser beam eye in a box? And there's a special box. It says laser beam eye.
Okay, gotcha.
That. Do you see? Because basically you're reading till blinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Jaw. The jaw of the horse is located directly under the eye. You can easily detect its circular shape. Just like us, a horse can clamp his jaw, which means the horse is having tense feelings or bracing or maybe holding his breath. Back on page 26, we discussed how the yawn can be a breath message and a tension reliever. It is a way for a horse to relax and release and relax his jaw, figure 2.7. Eyes. Eyes subtly communicate emotion. There are some of the ways we can read them. A calm horse has a soft eye because the muscles around the eye are relaxed. Watch when a new dog or cat comes into a stable. You can see curiosity in your horse's whole face, mouth soft, ears forward, nostrils flared, but the eye is relaxed. Wrinkles or puffiness under the eye tell you the horse is in physical or emotional pain. If the upper eyelids are wrinkled or tented, the horse is becoming extremely distressed. When the eyes are wide and showing whites, the horse is panicked. Tension around the eyes say, I don't like this. We often see this when the vet or farrier arrives. One horse may give the horse next to him something I call hard eye, which says move over. As humans, we joke about giving someone stink eye, like an old-fashioned gunslinger's look. It's the same idea. A horse can gain some space around just eye pressure. It is enough to move another horse. When an eye is not enough, he may add an ear or arch his poll. Note that the horse that arches his poll, no matter how subtly, is willing to take the conversation to the next level. I have observed horses turning each other using what I call laser beam eye. This is when they look each other right in the eye with one intending to change the other's path of travel. I have seen many horses redirect the eye path of another horse, which then redirects where that horse body goes. You can mirror laser beam eye, look at the horse's right in the eyes and imagine a beam of light shooting out from your eyes and blocking his forward momentum. And I'm sorry, I forgot to replace I with Sharon.
That's okay. It takes a little bit of getting used to, because
I know.
you have to kind of sometimes change the word too.
I was so focused on reading.
It's okay. This is a judgment-free zone. No worries.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And do you have laser beam eye in practice on your version, or?
Yes, I do have
Okay.
that.
So if you wouldn't mind reading that.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Laser beam eye in practice. Once Sharon was being charged by a severely damaged horse at a clinic I was attending. I was on my own in the round pen. Sharon was on her own in the round pen, waving her crop and making her short body as large as she could. But this horse kept coming at her. So I looked at him. So
okay.
Sharon looked at him right in the eye and imagined a beam of light cutting across his path in order to change his direction. It worked. The clinic participants wondered how she had done it. Not long after her first laser beam eye experience, Sharon was consulting at a rescue, and there was a band of rowdy geldings in the next paddock. Sharon couldn't make any progress with the horse she was talking to, with all this acting up right next door. So she decided to watch the group for a moment. The leader of the pack was easy to pick out, and she applied her laser beam eye on him, cutting him off from the rest of the group. After she did this, he came up to the fence and looked at her as if to say, "Where on earth did you learn that?" He knew she was now in charge.
Perfect. Thank you. Nancy, you're next.
Blinking. You rarely see a horse with his eyes completely closed. Sometime when she is rehabilitating a horse, she will notice her head and blink slowly while looking at his eyes. She is grateful when he blinks back. She believes blinking is a sign of thinking, like lick and chew, and it tells her that he is taking a moment to mull things over. She often uses the word blinking is thinking. Slow blinking can also show affection. When you experience this sweet gesture, take a moment to slowly blink back. Blinking at horses helps them to relax around you. Ears. We tend to watch horses' ears more over the facial expressions because ears move and attract our attention. The ears indicate where the horse's mind is going, what the horse is paying attention to. One ear or both ears backwards towards the rider or driver says, I'm paying attention to you. One ear back and the other ear forward at the same time says, I'm also attending to the work at hand. If the ears are predominantly forward, but one is twitching forward and backward, your horse has curious ears. These ears are combined with other characteristics of a curious expression, such as the eyes discussed on page 45. A curious face looks a lot like a face of a horse begging for a treat. A horse that has airplane ears is relaxed and confident. This flat sideways ear position also draws or beckons another horse or human. This is a gentle state of mind Sharon calls inward ears. Ears held softly backwards, a little downward. These ears communicate that the horse is not really paying attention to much of anything on the outside. Mares may hold this inward ear position while they are nursing. Notice if your horse has inward ears when you walk next to him. It indicates a quiet or peace within, usually evident in times of unity or friendship. Scouting ears are held straight up, but only for moments at a time. The sentry ears in charge of looking for danger in a herd will have scouting ears when a threat is perceived. Scouting ears also indicate the horse is ready to go on the offensive. A stallion challenging another has scouting ears and an elevated poll to demonstrate he is a big bad horse compared to his foe. Horses working cattle show scouting ears just before the ears are laid back into attack mode to move the cattle. You can often see this ear shift from scouting to attack mode right before a horse takes off over a jump. Horses let go of stress by shaking their ears, as they also do by yawning. A horse may shake his ears like a dog shakes off water. When he does this, he is literally shaking off a disagreement or a disagreeable event. Sharon's seen horses play and be silly all by themselves with their ears while their ears talk. While they do this, watch two horses eating hay out of each other's mouths, for example. Their ears will twitch and twirl. She believes this is an equine equivalent of laughing.
All right. And Emily, if you could finish us off.
Sure.
A little bit of reading here.
A good start.
Yeah.
No matter what emotion you see in the face of your horse, he will always return to a state of calm and peacefulness as soon as possible. Neutral ear, figure 216. Learning to read. Now that you have the tools you need to read a horse's facial expressions, including the height of the head, muzzle, chin, nostrils, jaw, eyes, and ears, you are ready to take the next step in learning to use horse speak. Figures 2.17a and b. You can observe and read, and now we'll examine how to respond in a way the horse will understand. This is the beginning of conversation.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Thank you for our readers today. Oh, and thank you for helping out with the folks who came in after we had started, so then people know where we are. So if you would like to raise your hand, virtual hand, then I can put you on the audio. If not, you're welcome to comment in the chat and we'll just have our discussion. So this is the beginning. like to practice our observation skills and putting all these little pieces of the face into a meaning. And so the one thing that it's two things we suggest is filming yourself or filming horses talking to each other and putting it into onto your computer perhaps and slowing down the video so you can see all the changes that are happening. And the other thing that's not mentioned in this book, but we do talk about it in the third book, is looking at the throat latch is also a sign of, we're being stress detectors. So noticing the chin and the throat and the striations on the jaw, these are all parts of telling the story of what the horse could be thinking or feeling or intention. So Mustang, I'm going to put you on the audio and go from there.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I sort of have for two things. The eye blinking. It's really interesting because I do that with my cats, the slow blink.
Mm-hmm.
Like the I love you blink. And it's just interesting that you can do that with horses. I have a question. So my Bert will sometimes, I don't even know what we'll be doing, but maybe I'll have my hand there and he won't bite necessarily, but he like scrapes his teeth on my hand, almost like a bite, but he's not biting.
Okay.
Like he's not pulling skin or anything, but he does that. And I can't figure out what that means. Like I'm annoyed, like enough. He's not like his ears aren't pinned or anything.
So what
he's
are
just
you
like
doing?
Sometimes it's after a treat. Sometimes it's, I don't know. It just could be, there are different situations when he does it. And I can't quite figure out why.
Well, if it's
like
related, after giving a treat. So this sounds like one of those things where we would really need to see it because it's an interesting behavior. But if it's after like some food delivery, it could be like wanting more.
But he does it in other situations. That's
what does your body say? Meaning your empathy. Do you feel like you feel uncomfortable in your body after it happens, or
no? I almost feel like he's saying, enough, but it's not big.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like, okay, I'm just, let's maybe stop this.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like just back up a little or something, take your hand away or he doesn't always do it on my hand. I mean, he's done it like on my back and stuff, but or actually he's done it towards my face here and there, but his ears aren't pinned or anything.
So are you just not aware of his bubble? And are you like just kind of maybe he
not paying attention enough?
Yeah, like is your mind, because I know because we've known each other for some time, is your mind busy?
No, not at all.
Because we know that Bert does struggle with your mind being busy.
Yes, he does. And me moving all over the place all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peach, I'll have to pay attention to that.
And then on the other side would be, thank you, PJs, offering grooming. But if you're feeling like it's more of a frustration thing, he could be like, Sally, so when he does this, you need to say, what am I doing, Bert, to cause you to have that response with me? And then have some self-reflection and be like, oh, are the bees buzzing in my head?
I like that.
Or are you in his lane? Or, where's your belly button? The first thing I heard was something about your belly button.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
So,
all right.
So when it happens,
And thank you,
step
PJ.
out of the bubble and be like, okay, what is it? And you
Okay.
can just say it out
Horse-
loud.
Yeah.
What did I do to have you do this with me?
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, I've gotten a little better, but you know, my energy's still like, you know, a bird sitting on a tree looking at everything.
Yeah.
But I didn't think sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that's our practice. You know,
Yeah.
is that if we do tend to have the bees in our heads, then, and if
Yeah.
we have a horse like Bert, who has, because we have worked with you directly with him, and he's like, I can't walk with you if the bees are buzzing too much.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So be like, talk to
he's
yourself,
so
be like, Sally, let's check our bees before we enter Bert's bubble.
Let's put them back in the hive.
Yes. Let's maybe even give them a little smoke them out to get chilled so you can, you know.
I love that image. Yes. No, but it, you know, thank you, because it didn't dawn on me to like think that he's saying, okay, just calm, you know. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And thank you, PJ.
Yeah. Count on the bees, you know, the swarm before you even start. It's predictable, right? Like we have patterns, so we know that. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, good luck with your bees.
Well, thank you. And I will try and get a video of that.
Yeah.
Just to let everybody see. I'll bring it to the club.
The other club? The video
club?
Other
club. Yeah, the other club.
No, we'll have to call it the Horse Speak Video Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So good luck and take care. And we're gonna, you know, just have that reflection because he's commenting on you. And don't take offense. He's just like, hey, he knows about your bees, so you're fine.
And you know what? You know what I've never seen either is a loose bottom lip. He's never ever had just a relaxed bottom lip.
Yeah, I mean, and he does have some discomfort physically. So therefore, when we have a horse who has a low level of discomfort physically, they have a smaller window of tolerance for things that we might be bringing into their bubble.
Right.
You know,
I don't know if I told you we moved barns.
Oh, good for you.
There's Bert 2.0. I mean, it's like a whole different horse.
Oh, great.
So in a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah. I think he might have been a herding horse. He literally was in with the old guys, and I heard a squeal. Sorry, guys. And I looked, and he was biting at the horse's blanket and his legs and butt, driving him. And when the horse would go too far right, he would herd him back in. If he went too far left, he'd herd him back the other way. It was like, what? Wait a minute, is that whose horse are you? It's not my bird.
Maybe he was talking. You know, if the thing that we have been noticing is that he could be talking about the other horse's body. And be like, hey, you know, or he's, you know, they're figuring out the hierarchy because if he's new in the herd and things of that nature. So it's great. He's feeling a little bit better.
Yeah.
And
I mean, honestly, it looked like play, honestly, but it was like way too intense because this horse was way older. But it was definitely play.
Well, I mean, geldings can play, and then there's also what is behind it. You know, so it'd be interesting if it is an older horse to see, hey, how is your body in those places? Because horses are natural healers with each other. It's pretty profound. They do see an ultraviolet, so one can perceive that they're seeing other things that we're not able to see with the naked eye, and only maybe with like an infrared camera. So there's a lot of times when horses are communicating with each other that they are like, hey, what about your, you know, jump up button? Are you feeling okay here? Or when we saw over the weekend with your horse's first teacher, we were talking about the possibility of the mom feeling like the follow me button really on the little colt needed some more energy. So, you know, it's interesting because they're very specific. about which
Yeah.
buttons they're talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all for letting me do that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank
All right, darling. Take care. You have a good day.
you too. You too.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right. Danuta?
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so two things. I was thinking it would be really fun to actually mirror a horse's expressions. So if you see their nostrils flaring, to flare your own nose. I'm not sure whether the eyebrows would be better as ears almost. But I suppose if you can wiggle your ears, you'd be all right.
Yes. Kind of like when I smiled, I felt my ears go whoop just a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do it in your mind's eye, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
And also
yeah.
it's like to watch people's expressions, actually watch their faces and see how
Mhm.
they move,
Yeah.
how their facial muscles move. That's like, I'm going to be practicing that.
Cool.
But the other thing is that like where horses bite, like obviously this is Dandy again. He
Mhm.
likes to bite people's upper arms on the underneath part. And
Mhm.
he's done that so many times now. It's a specific area that he likes to go for. And I
Okay.
was
So
wondering,
like armpit?
low, further down the arm, towards the elbow more.
Oh, on the okay, here.
Oh, yeah, there. Like,
Mhm.
not, but like in the middle.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the tricep.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
He goes for that all the
So
time. He bit his trainer. I have a trainer come out to help me with him.
mhm.
He bit him there. Now, now the trainer thinks there might be a bit of dirt in Dandy, but I don't think there is, because I think it's just him being young and me not understanding him properly
So
yet.
it could
Getting
be
there.
two things from what I hear. One thing could be spatial relation. Like, is he saying you're too close to me? Move back to my shoulder? Because this will be a good thing to
Okay.
get on film. And then also because we have just imagine if we could mirror their body. And so what place on his body could he be talking about that he could maybe have pain?
Oh, okay, that's a
Because if it's
possibility.
that consistent, that's the interesting part about it.
Yeah, that's what struck me, because it is on that part.
Yeah.
And he's done it to me. He's done it to everybody who's had anything to do with him.
Yeah. I would go and massage him. You can touch him, right? Okay.
Yes. Yes, through a fence. I actually brushed his mane the other day over the fence. I was really proud of
Oh,
myself.
great.
And when the trainer was there, I actually led him all by myself, like from one paddock to another. No, so it was like about 20 feet. It wasn't far, but
Doesn't
I
matter.
did it. I did
That's
it.
amazing.
And yeah, and he was good. And he had his feet done. It was just like mind blowing. And I held him while he was having his feet done, which was also amazing.
Yay. Congratulations. This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that.
Wow,
But
that's really great. So what you could do if he's just he's still in a little bit of hot and cold, it sounds like you're having some
yeah,
really positive moments and then there's still these other moments um that have a little bit of, negative in there. So what I would do if you seem to have more success over the fence, you could just go down his buttons with your palm toward the button. And this would be something interesting to film. So then you can see the little nuances. And when you get down his neck toward the shoulder area and even at the wither and bring your hand and just spend some time in breathing and be like, what do you need to tell me? Do you have something going on? And you do it on both sides to see, which side might be, more because you're looking for the changes in the face.
yeah.
So when you
And you
find a
can't do it
spot,
when you're like focusing on the body. You can't have eyes on the face as well.
yeah. Well, that's when we're the peripheral vision practice. So you can
That
try
would
to
that would be
extend
good.
a vision.
I
But
wish I could get glasses that could do that for me.
yeah, right. So it could be something. So as you're going with your hand, because we have 17,000 receptors in the palm of our hand. So as you're going down the buttons, noticing changes, change of weight, the tail swish, anything. That's why, again, film it, because then you don't have to be so like, as my peripheral vision working? And see when you get to the shoulder region to notice if something goes deeper in his eye or an ear, or like, don't look at that, because then you know that that's a place on his body that he could be having some discomfort.
Yeah.
And then the other side, like, again, would be like, get out of my space, come back over to my shoulder. Because that sometimes they do comment either to our feet or our arms to move us out of their way, because we might be in their headspace. And a lot of horses do not want us, for safety reasons, at their face, because if they spook or what have you, that they want to be able to exit. They're always looking for an exit strategy. So if you're in a corner, like environment, location, so there's so many variables that can, give us a better idea of what he could be saying specifically in those moments.
This time he was in his favorite corner,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a T junction. So he was in one part, and the trainer was undoing the gate, the wire, this wire tape gate, and that's when Dandy got him on the upper arm, and he tends to bite and not let go. It's not a really hard bite and let go. It's like a grab and hold.
Interesting.
Yeah. But anyway,
and it's kind of like the word, like, I need something.
Yeah. It's like a kid saying, "Mom, mom, mom,"
right.
Dragging.
Yeah, so it's like peeling back the layers of the onion. And again, with filming something like so specific like this, it will be just really help us give you the, more of an exact and specific understanding.
I'd just rather not get bitten.
Oh, of course, right? But it's, yeah. It's like, why are you doing this extreme message? And that helps us stay a little bit optimistic, because it's like he's trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
It's not because he's like trying to get you or like be mean to you. It's like he's that extreme of like, this is huge for me. I have to bite you to like, have you figure it out. And I really think, I do strongly think it's something physical.
Yeah. Actually, that what Sharon said in one of the past videos, I did mention it in my email. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it, about if you roll, you have to get up quickly, because some horses are okay with it and some horses will paw you. And when I fell over that time, he pawed me, and I think that was like, not, I'm trying to kill you, but
no,
what do you fall over for? So
yeah,
I think that's like changed my perspective on him as well.
Yeah, like, why are you down there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
get up. Yeah.
So we're making progress.
Yeah, you are. It's really great too, and not that much time. It's been, I don't know, 6 months or so, maybe.
Yeah, about that. It's helped that I've actually physically healed up as well, which helps an awful lot.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't feel quite so vulnerable.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's so hard when we get hurt, and especially if it's related with a horse, and then there's, the getting around him can be triggering to our body, because our body is telling the story, because it's like, oh no, this horse. And so working on the other side of the fence is really great to help your nervous system to continue to help reset itself in the presence of him, since you had some negative stuff with him.
But no,
cool.
It's getting better.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds really good.
Waved him away with a stick when I couldn't get to the fence, and I didn't wave at him. I just waved. I looked forwards, away from him, and I waved the stick up and down, like not at him but away from him.
Yeah.
And he just stopped, because he'd been cantering. He was up.
Yeah.
And he'd been cantering, and he sort of came to a halt, and he stood and looked at me, and then he turned around and went away. I thought, yes, fantastic.
Great.
So happy.
Good for you. Yeah. And then the other thought, I just had another thought pop in about, if he's in his favorite corner, which is by a gate, then
Mm.
he could be then, because it's like, okay, open the gate. Is it a place where he goes to get food? Is it like,
Well, actually, the T junction, the part of the T junction that he's in doesn't open.
oh, okay.
So it's the other side that opens.
Mm,
So yeah, but he does kind of quite like that corner.
yeah. So it's kind of like almost like a resource guarding place where it's like, this is
Yeah,
my
yeah,
spot that I own.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
That's
if you can
interesting.
try to get some of the biting on video or doing the buttons and seeing what you find with him, and seeing if there is some physical discomfort there, that'll
Mm.
be really good to know.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
Yeah.
try and do that.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, darling. Thank you. We'll talk to you
Thank
soon. You have a good night.
And you.
Thank you. All right. Now, just a second. We have Miss Heidi. You have your hand up. Now go over the chats.
Hey, I just sorry to continue on to this conversation about biting.
Well, it was one of the topics, so
Yeah.
here we are.
I have one of my horses. He's a rescue horse who was starving when I got him, and he is huge, and everybody at the barn is afraid of him, and he has no bubble. Like as soon as I go out there, he just comes running over to me, and he wants to stand right on top of me,
Mhm.
and the bubbles don't work, and he's constantly nipping. He doesn't bite. I don't think he wants to bite. He wants to play, I think. So if I take something out there with me and give him that instead, he will mouth it. And when I did some clicker training with him, and he's very smart, and he will stand with his head forward and not move it and be very good and listen to the buttons and everything when he knows I have treats. If I don't have treats, he just wants, I'm not sure if he's just trying to play because he loves playing with all kinds of things. And he plays with his best friend constantly, but it's like the nipping thing.
Mhm.
And so I'd like to teach him to stop doing that with people.
Yes, this would
So,
be, this is helpful. So with all the things that you described, this is a stress response. He's not playing, he's stressed.
right.
And so if he's has no bubble awareness, then it is very possible that he missed that class when he was a youngster. And people have not been able to practice good bubble space with him.
Right. Right.
So it would be
He'll
good.
listen if I take a stick out and wave it at him, he'll back up, but then he'll
Yeah.
come right back forward again. He wants to
Right.
be right on top of you. And
Yes.
he'll follow you. If you move away from him, he follows you.
Yes. So with this kind of character, it would be really good to work on the other side of the fence with him.
Mm-hmm.
And so this kind of guy, I would assume that there's a broken go away face button.
Right. He's broken a lot. He does weaving a lot too.
Yeah. So
If I'm on the other side of the fence and he can't be near me, he weaves.
yes. So this is extreme red zone stress and anxiety.
Right.
So our goal with this guy is to practice our zero with him and for him. So when you show up, you're going to be a stress detector. And one could assume that your body is also like getting hijacked by his nervous system. Is that true? Where you start feeling internally stressed?
Yeah, I do the same things with all the other horses, and it's like almost perfection. They just like listen and they love it, and they all stare at, even he stares at me when I do it with the other horses from, the other pasture where he's not, so he can't get to me. But yeah, it's just I do feel like he is stressed. He's got PTSD when it comes to food. I know immediately.
Yes.
If
Resource guarding. He's going to be. So if he were my horse and I were needing, so you're in a rehabilitation situation with him.
Right.
So therefore, I would not give him any food out of my hand.
Okay.
And to give him food in a bucket, for one, if you're wanting to give him any treats, which would be, if it were my horse, I would use just hay stretcher. It would be a low sugar, low, just less of a, oh gosh, high value treats. We
Right.
want to just give him like a low value
I
something.
do that. I just use
Over the fence.
I just use hay.
Great. Perfect. Good for you. And so this is like, we have to go back to like ground zero, pun intended, to really just work on the bubble. And if you're flailing, this is also giving a message of stress.
Right.
Because you look weaker when you're flailing like this.
Right. But I almost have to because he's so, well, if I worked over the fence, I wouldn't, but he's huge.
Yeah, of course he is. So this is where we're going to greet. And then with a stick, just put your hand up with the stick in your hand like this and be like, and go away face. And if you can touch his cheek and just hold it there. Hold until he gives it. Thank you. And then step away from the fence and breathe. That was really good. And you're going to probably have to do that 100 times.
Okay.
And then when you're in his bubble, if you decide that you're, wanting to go, are you doing anything with him? Meaning like, are you walking him or are you just kind of in survival
I do walk
mode?
him, but he just looks around for things and we go look at everything. He's very curious.
Yeah.
And
So
like
here,
I said,
okay.
with the treat thing, he will keep his head away from me. He knows, like from the clicker training, not to mug me for the treats.
Yeah.
And
So I would cease to if you were my horse, I would restart everything and take out any kind of clicker training because then he's seeking for when the click is going to happen. So his reward is going to be breath and space.
Okay.
And when you're walking him, you need to be, and so pause. Before this, you're going to be on the outside of the fence and you're going to practice. This is my X and this is my O. This is my X. This is my O. And it will be very important when you are leading him. Two things. One, do not put your hand below your belly button because if you drop your hand, you can see it even just on the screen, then my shoulder collapses and this is a welcoming posture.
Okay.
So therefore you're letting him into the bubble.
Right.
So you're going to practice walking with your hand in a light X. So I don't have a lead rope, but the lead rope would be kind of through your thumb like this, palm toward his cheek. And you might have to navigate cheek and neck. And so that it's all about, there's a glass wall between you and you are saying, please stay in your lane. And since he is curious, which is great, but with this kind of stress with him, you need to be the one to bring him to the object. So say if there's a wheelbarrow, for example, be like, what's his name?
His name's Willie.
Willie. All right. Willie, stay right there. I'm going to go and check out the wheelbarrow because he needs a mom to go check for bees, bears, and boogeymen.
Okay.
Because he is so stressed. He's not a map maker. He can't make his own decisions right now. So you need to say, wait, I'm going to go and check out this thing. And then you invite him in. And we've had many, many times we've worked with horses who are this kind of stressed. And there's the human mom is like, wait there, I'm going to go check it out. And then this type of guy will leak. And he's like, I'm going to go check it out. And they lose their mind.
Right.
Because, their consistency is key. And so you're kind of dealing with a giant toddler.
That's what I feel like I'm dealing with.
Yes. And it's just because he didn't get the social skills. And what
And he's really sweet.
oh,
He's
of
not,
course.
I don't think he's trying to hurt me at all.
No, he's just so stressed.
Yes.
It's all
Everybody at the
stressed.
barn is afraid of him though, like except for me. Like I don't mind going out there with him. I know I don't really feel like he's gonna hurt me at all. He could accidentally hurt me though, but
Yeah,
he's
because
just
he's scared.
right.
You know,
Right.
in a horse like this, if there was a thing happening, is that he could bump you, like his shoulder into your shoulder and like scooping you up and you're like, hey, we got to get out of here. Because he
Right.
wants to take you with him. Because this isn't safe, Mom. We must go. So this is are you on the video club?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And
So
I do have a video. I signed up for a spot and he's going to be my feature because
of
the
course.
other horses absolutely love Horse Speak and they are so good, but he's just a work in progress.
Yes. So in the chat, thank you, PJ. Since you're on the video club, there is a video that you should check out. It's
Okay.
Cannon, and he is a stallion that's up at the Minor Institute in Chazy, New York. And he is a kind of character who wants, because of just unfortunate lifestyle, they're, you know, kind of they stay in their stall for like most of the day. And they go out and have turnout for just a short period of time. And so basically, this horse is like driving you away. He wants to bite you. And so Sharon, in 15 minutes, does a really great job in having him connect muzzle to hit the end of a crop. Then she's able to transform. This is the thing you can greet, and this thing, the end of the crop, is something you can displace on, that he
Okay.
can chew on.
Right, right. So she uses her hand for the greet or the muzzle, on the
you'll see it. It's a kind of like a scaffolding experience where she's like just giving him, telling him, you can displace your stress on the crop, but you need to not displace on my knuckle.
right, right.
And so you'll see like he's so overreactive. Sharon puts up the crop and he like throws himself back. It's a little intense, but like I said, it's like 15 or 18 minutes and he has an amazing transformation.
Wow. Yeah. His other problem too is he goes into the trailer, no problem. He runs into the trailer. He runs into the stall. And then after a couple minutes, he just gets totally stressed.
Yeah, because he's so stressed.
I know he is.
His world is on fire.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to have to become the master stress detector. And again, with thresholds, it's like, Willie, I'm going to go in your stall first, and then you can come in, right? Like you have to be the master of his chessboard.
Right.
Because mama horse is not going to just let baby go and run around a field. She's going to go and check it out to make sure it's safe for him. And then said, okay, baby, now we can go and boing around and have, because foals like to run around and they're checking out their body and their balance and stuff. Yeah. So then he's, and then he might have some physical imbalances also. So we know he's emotionally out of balance. So then there could be some other things going on for him that could also be an underlying cause of him being so stressed. Because sometimes physically, you feel bad, you act bad.
Right.
Right. So
right. Exactly. Well, the interesting he loves to play. I'll pull out all kinds of objects, tarps and hula hoops, and like he loves chasing them and bringing them back to me and playing with them, and then he'll go take a nap.
Yeah, well, because he's like, he is kind of hunting, and so he's killing things. So it's all like,
he's not afraid of it. He doesn't appear to be afraid of any of them. Like
no, because he's trying to kill it.
His head, yeah. So that's probably not a good thing to do with him.
No,
Okay.
Not right now.
Not right now. Till he calms down.
Yeah, we want everything, his world needs to not be on fire.
Right. Oh,
We need the
definitely.
fire to go out completely because
Right.
because everything is way above board. We need to go way back, like underground with him.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So then because right now you have no zero to go back to. All it's this world is on fire. So we can't bring more high energy like activities to him because there's nowhere else to come back down to. And so then if he's that stressed, I'm not a veterinarian, but it only takes 4 days for a ulcer to form. So with this kind of level of stress, I can almost guarantee that he has ulcers.
Okay.
So
Oh,
either get him checked out or, consult your vet and be like, hey, can we just treat, it's not going to hurt him. You know what I mean? But
sure.
you could get him scoped out and to see where you're at with him and his GI tract and just, because we do find also, like I was saying, the physical stuff can cause some extreme behaviors that are just like, he's like, I can't deal because my body is also on fire.
Right, right, right. Yeah, he's definitely the only horse out there who just has no zero.
Yeah, and then he's displacing on the other horses and moving them around, and so it's just stress. He's not a bad horse.
Right.
Our theory with Horse Speak, there's no such thing as a bad horse,
I
and
can
all
see.
we say is why are you doing this
Right,
stuff,
right.
right? Like we want to get to the bottom of it because then we have so many success stories that we have similar enough, stories with stressed out horses, whether it's like this or there's physical stuff. And once we figure out a lot of the physical stuff, the emotional stuff starts fading away.
Right, right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
The funny thing is he's great to ride. He totally calms down when you ride him. And he's not afraid of anything. He likes to lead,
Mm-hmm.
and he listens, but that's about it. I feel much more comfortable on his back than I do.
Well, and sometimes that's like, oh, we're at time already. Sometimes with these types of horses, if that's been his life, like a person shows up, I ride you, you kind of get them through their, he'll be fine once you get on him, kind of thing. But then you're still having all this groundwork challenge with him. Like
Right,
it's
right.
never going to get resolved.
Exactly.
And then if the stuff hit the fan on his back, it's like, for me, it's not trustworthy to know that there's such a high level
Yeah,
of red zone over here. And then, oh, I'm going to ride him. And then it's like, is he going to actually take care of you if they're like a bear showed up or something?
right, right.
You know?
That's how I feel, even though he's never done anything on his
Yeah.
back. But I don't feel safe because he's not good on the ground. So
Right. So let's, the thing Sharon would say, don't ride him for a bit, and let's get his ground, like get him to zero. Because then
right,
he's like already willing to do riding and all that kind of stuff. And both of you are going to feel so much safer once we get his world to not be on fire and everything is like, because he's there, he's interested, he wants to do these things, but we want it at zero. So then everyone stays safe. Because,
exactly.
the last thing we want to do is to get hurt because most of us have to go to work or take care of horses or what have you.
I
And
get hurt way too much.
yeah. So cool. Well, thank you, Heidi, for sharing and being
Thank you.
vulnerable and telling us about Willie. And, all the best. Get him scoped out, work on the other side of the fence, watch the Canon video to get a visual of, what's going on. And we actually, the other one that would be interesting, which is also a stallion, now his Elvis. I believe
Okay.
Elvis is also on the club, which is another, guy who is a space invader. And his work at a veterinarian school is to be collected. That's what
Right.
so then it's like a very intimate invasion of bubble. So therefore, there's one person who would manage Elvis in things because everyone else couldn't handle him. But it's just, again, it's the bubble awareness. And it's like, this is my X and this is my O. And the more that you can help your nervous system on the outside of the fence, the more you'll be able to be able to manage this red zone if it happens when you're in the bubble, because our bodies are having, conversations with these animals, and we're having responses. So it's just a big thing for us to practice to stay in our zero, because we want to be the beacon for them. We want their nervous system to feed off of us. When I show up, everything is chill.
Thank you so much. I love you guys.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here. We appreciate, we're looking forward to helping you on this journey, because we'll get there.
Thank you.
You bet. Have a great day, darling. All right, y'all. Well, I apologize we didn't get to the chats today, but I'm assuming, thank you, PJ, for putting in the videos. So if you're on the video club, check out Cannon and check out Elvis, because those two guys are this high energy stallions, even though I'm not going to get into the rabbit hole of stallions, but just because of their lifestyle at these particular facilities, it's a great example of how we can navigate the bubble of personal space. So it was a pleasure sharing space with you today. We want to give you the gift that horses gave to Sharon, which is the exact and specific nuances of how our bodies can communicate clearly with horses. And all we need to do is take the time to learn how. So if you would like to learn more about our in-person and online learning opportunities, check out our website at horsespeakacademy.com. May the journey of learning horse speak be fun for you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, and we love you.